Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to
Nothing but net.
where if you watch this show at some point in your life, this theme music that theme music was part of your Sunday morning, Saturday mornings, Sunday evenings, part of your day period. Um, Only thing else is missing from this is maybe Ahmad Rashad. But with that being said, it's nothing but net. I'm the Midnight Rider. He's C. Perry the second. Um, we're gonna just do what we always do. We're gonna jump into some NBA scores, take you through the league, and then at the end, we're gonna just talk through some of the issues that we saw, and hopefully give you a good 30 minutes of TV, and you're good to go, and you can go on with your day. One losing or I guess scheduling update is there's no In the Passenger Seat Tonight live, so we probably gonna play a taping of an old show. I'm not sure how KG's handling that, but you'll probably get that around 8:30, 9 o'clock. With that being said, talk to me, Perry. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. And it's another week in the early part of the NBA season. Early.
I thought you said had to say no, man. I'm not gonna say it.
What?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
I wanted to happen organically. If you guys don't know, and maybe you want to play along at home, anytime we say it's early, my co-host here partakes of a drink or a sip of his drink. So if you see him every time he says the words, the magic words, and if you want to play along at home, knock yourself out, get you something good to drink, and do your thing.
Because you might actually end up knocking yourself out. So,
all right, we had a busy night on the schedule last night, so let's go ahead and take some time and jump into the games from last night. First up, the Pistons versus the Hawks. Pistons 120, Hawks 112. Real quick, let me grab the line from that today. Boom, boom. All right, so here we go. Pistons leading scorer was Cade Cunningham with 25. He had 6 rebounds and 10 assists. That's a nice line. On the Atlanta side, Mr. Johnson's been playing some good ball. 25 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. This Hawks team, I don't know, man. What you think? Talk to me. I know the words you're gonna use, but I'll let you use it first. Go ahead.
no, first thing I got to say is okay, the Pistons are on an 11-game winning streak. This is their biggest winning streak since the 2005-2006 season. Cade Cunningham, early on, is looking like an MVP candidate. He's looking like a person that's leading his team and taking that step to the next level. Also, center Jalen Duren also added 24 points, and he's also another one that's taking that next step. Right now, the Pistons are doing, to me, they're doing what they're supposed to do early in the season. Let's go ahead and bank these wins and make sure you're able to establish yourself in that top 3. And right now, I mean, with a record of 13-2, I mean, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. As it relates to the Hawks, and the Hawks are like 9-6 right now. I was expecting, Jalen Johnson to have a game like he had, or to put together games like he's been putting together. I mean, he was out for most of last season with the ACL injury, and right now he's the one who has to carry the load in Atlanta right now, with Trae Young being gone, with their top pick Risa Shea being out as well, and Kristaps Porzingis also being out via injury. So yeah, This is a matchup to keep an eye on, because both of these teams, by the end of the season are going to be fighting for one or two of those top 4 spots in the Eastern Conference.
You like Atlanta that much that you think they're gonna be in the top 4?
They have a strong chance, but bro, they have a strong chance to be, in that top 4, or that top 5. The talent is there. Okay, it's just right now, it's just all about putting it together and staying healthy.
I like Jalen. I like Daniels. Okongwu. Is that the kid from Boston?
No, you're talking about the center, Okongwu?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, they have a look. They to me, they finally have the right pieces and the right type of pieces around Trey, and they're young. Okay, so like I said, the potential is there. If I remember correctly, based off of our preseason picks, I mean, I did have Atlanta in the top 5. Okay. I'm not pushing off of that. Okay. Pistons definitely right now. The Pistons definitely shown, they're going to be in the top 5 where I thought they'd be. So, right now, no surprise, but we're at that part of the season where we're just weighing how people look and see what type of starts they get off to,
right,
and what they can maintain. And right now, once we get past November, then we're getting into the what can they maintain portion of the season.
Right, exactly. I totally agree with you. That being said, let's go ahead and transition to the next ball game. We got the Spurs 111, the Grizz 101. Top performer for the Grizz is Coward, 19 points, 11 rebounds. A nice performance also from Mr. Jaren Jackson Jr., 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. On the San Antonio side, they had a big game. We had a Harrison Barnes sighting, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And then De'Aaron Fox came out, gave him 26, 1 rebound, and 3 assists. What's your takeaways from this ball game?
This was the NBC game of the night.
Okay.
And it was a game that were without the 2 big names. San Antonio was down Wemby. Memphis was down Ja Morant. And De'Aaron Fox, Swiper does what Swiper does. He had 26 points. Harrison Barnes, the vet that they brought into this team to be that vet on the front court, did what he did as well. I'm gonna tell you right now though, Cedric Coward, keep an eye on this rookie. All right, he is, he has not only the potential. Look, he's a building piece. He's a building block for this Grizz team. No matter what they decide to do, whether they end up getting off of the Ja Morant train or not, Coward is going to be a major building block on what this team does going forward.
It looks like, his stat line looks like he's in double digits every night right now. At least his last 5.
He's maintained. Look, he's maintained a good stat line. Throughout most of the season. Of course, I had a chance to see him. Against the Knicks, and he really impressed me, and I was like, this is someone they can definitely, is definitely a part of whatever they're trying to build for the future.
All right, let's shake it up a little bit and let's go out. Well, they didn't play in the Bay, but the team plays in the Bay. Golden State 113, Orlando 121. We got a little, I don't know, Fountain of Youth maybe. Steph goes 34 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists. Jimmy Butler gives you 33, 7 and 4. The only problem is no one else decided to show up to the party. On the Orlando side, Desmond Bane, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He's been playing ball. Looks like Wagner and company came along with the ride. They had all five of their starters in double digits.
And
What do
not
you
only
think?
that, look, no, not just the starting five. They had six players over 13. They had at least 13 points in yesterday's game. So it. So what Steph did and what Jimmy did was completely offset by
The bounce.
by team play. Okay, by everybody getting their opportunity and doing what they needed to do. Desmond Bain over the past couple of weeks, ever since he hit that that lucky buzzer beater a week and some change ago, he's finally starting to get his footing with the Magic. Right now they're at 8-7, and you know early period, see where they go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, question: is this is it still just too early, or are we looking at the Dubs? I mean, the Warriors not really meshing the way they normally mesh.
To be honest with you, I think this is what the Dubs are going to be most of the season. I know a lot of people. The one thing about experienced teams is that fans and um, talking heads sometimes have a habit of getting um, melancholy, getting nostalgic with the team and a franchise that's proved in the past that they can win, but not really looking at the
Current.
full totality of what's really going on in today's league and seeing that this dub team it's not right now, it's not meshing the way people think it's going to mesh. All right, and you're looking at a tough Western Conference as well. So we'll see what they are able to do, how healthy they can stay. Because I mean, this is one of the oldest teams in the league. You
It
know,
just doesn't seem like it's there. Like, and I don't mean when I say it. I'm big on chemistry, and it just seems like it's something off with this team. And maybe it's because they don't fit like they're supposed to. Maybe there's a round peg in a square hole type of thing. But it just, and maybe because we talked about it early in the year, maybe some of this is part of that Kaminga stuff where you watch the organization treat a kid a certain way, and maybe everybody's not bought into the way the organization works.
look, man, a lot of this is going to be about Kaminga. Okay, let's just put it out there like this. A lot of this is going to be about Kaminga. All right,
Okay.
because you have to get to that point where are you finally going to look towards the future and help your young star, if it's a young star, build, or are you going to try to get the star that established your franchise as one of the franchises, give him his last opportunity to chase that ring?
It's gonna be an interesting dynamic, and we'll see that play out throughout the course of the year. Um, Speaking of interesting dynamics, this is an interesting game from last night. The Celtics 113, the Nets 99. The reason I call it interesting is because there's the team like Indiana that's struggling to find its way with its record and because of its guy being out. But Boston seems to be um, keeping their head above water. They might be fighting frantically underneath, but they're doing a good job of staying afloat and making this work. With that being said, Celtics last night, Jaylen Brown, 29 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Uh, the gentleman Jack's own favorite player, Mr. Pritchard, gave him 22, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's a good play from a guard. Mr. Michael Porter for the Brooklyn Nets got his gets what he wants. A nice amount of shot opportunities. He put up 25 points, gave him 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Um, Tell me what you thought about this.
MPJ is going to get what he wants. Okay, let's just go ahead and put that down for the rest of the season. He's going to get what he wants because he's going to be the focal point of this team that's going to end the season with the losing record and get another good draft pick, hopefully. No, really, to be honest with you, no. When you're looking at making a comparison between the Celtics and what they lost versus Indiana and what they lost, this is not a surprise at all. Okay. Yeah, Jaylen Brown, MVP candidate. Sorry, let me take it back. Jason Tatum, MVP candidate that you've lost for this whole season, but you still have Jaylen Brown. All right. And at times, let's be for real, at times, Jaylen Brown, even with Jason Tatum, is the best player on that court for the Boston Celtics. Okay. Versus a Indiana team that lost their best player and lost their best big man.
Right.
Okay. I mean, we've seen Pascal Siakam with no help before, and this is pretty much what you're going to be looking at with Indiana. But now Boston, this is no surprise, and the fact that this is their this win put them over 500 for the first time this season. Look, I already told y'all, Boston is not going to fall off. Okay. They're going to compete for the playoffs or the play-in. There's no way that this team and that pride, that damn Celtic pride, is going to keep them away from not competing. Indiana, that's an entirely different story.
All right, let's move on to our next game on the ledger. We got the Phoenix Suns 127, the Blazers 110. This ball game, let's see what we get here box score wise. Devin Booker, 19 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. You can probably help me out with this Gillespie kid because he had 19, 3 rebounds and 6 assists. Colin Gillespie from Villanova.
Colin Gillespie, yeah.
Oh, okay, I know who that is. All right, I love Villanova players. Cheap plug for Villanova.
How can you not?
Portland Trailblazers, Sharp, Shaden Sharp with 29 points. Looks like he got 2 rebounds, 3 assists. And DC, a former Wizard Bullet, whatever, Denny Avia, has been putting together a nice season. He had 19, 5 and 5 last night. Talk to me, Perry. What you got on this, man?
One, Avdia is in a great place for him. I thought when he got traded out to Portland last year, I really thought it was a good move and a good look for him, especially with what Portland's trying to build. Shaden Sharp had to hold it down yesterday. I mean, no Drew Holiday, no Jeremy Grant, and he did what I expect Shaden Sharp to do and what I expect him to do, going forward. Once again, young team. He's one of he's one of those pieces, all right, and one of those pieces right now playing for an interim coach in Tiago Splitter, who, don't be surprised, ends up getting that job. We'll wait and talk about their coach at some other future episode. But also, it was a Booker game. It was a Booker game. But do you know Devin Booker didn't even play the fourth quarter?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't play the fourth quarter. I mean, they had this game wrapped up to that point where their main man could chill.
Well, it explains it now because there's only one DNP coach decision on the ledger, so that makes all this sense in the world. Back to Avi, I thought it was smart of the Wizards to move off of him when they did, because he didn't fit the timeline and he'd been wasting his talents here. And then they would have had to pay him whatever the next level is that he's on, and that's probably gonna be a max deal. And I just think they didn't need to spend the money. I thought that was the right way. Just tear it all the way down to the studs and rebuild it. And I think they got some pieces. But we'll talk about that another time and another day. So let's close out the slate. We got the return of LeBron last night. Lakers go 140. The Jazz 126. Ooh, I'm sorry, this caught me off guard. Keontae George, 34 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Lauri Markkanen had 31 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And then on the LA side, Doncic 37, 5 rebounds, 10 assists. Austin Reeves 26 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. I gotta give it. I've been dogging this dude all year, but normally I don't go this deep on the scoreboard. But DeAndre Ayton 20 points, 14 rebounds. I mean, I almost thought it was a typo, but then I looked at his last 5 and he been kind of getting in his bag a little bit.
Look, when you give Luka a center that he can pass to, all right, only thing that's going to happen, or the only thing that center is going to bring is good things, okay? And right now, this was like, to be honest with you, to me, this was like the perfect time for LeBron James to be injured, okay? And the reason why I say that is because it gives Luka more time to establish the reality that the Lakers are. This is Luka's team. You see it emanating from Luka. You see it emanating from the way Austin Reeves is playing, and just like you said, you see it from how DeAndre Ayton has finally come to play. Right. I'll say this: what's bugging me out about Utah is all these high scoring games that they've been in. Since the season started, and I'm not gonna lie. Look, they're gonna be entertaining. They're going to be entertaining. Not going to go anywhere, but they'll definitely be an entertaining team. So,
but they're doing their job because they don't want to win
exactly
games anyway. So as long as you can put an entertaining product on the court, you're fine. I mean, I think that's similar path to what the Wizards are trying to do. Just put a good product out. I don't mind when the Wizards lose a fourth quarter lead because to me it tells me that, hey, we're just trying to stay under that 8 spot so we can keep that pick and use it for the future because this is going to be an interesting class. Anything else on this?
Nah, man, nah. This was I said this was good for the return of LeBron James and the how the Lakers are going to look going forward.
All right, well, breaking college news real quick. Since we always talk hoops, the 5-star recruit Baba Ola Doughton commits to Maryland tonight. So that can get real interesting at College Park. Buzz Williams seems to be doing his job, man, doing some things.
Yeah, it's as I'll say this, as much as I'm a hoops fan, sometimes I do hate that because I'm in ACC country and Maryland's no longer a part of the ACC. A lot of the attention that I used to give Maryland, is just not there.
Nah.
But I am glad they hired a really, really, really good coach with Buzz Williams. I've always been a fan of his.
Yeah, but Buzz has a short shelf life.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, I think that's good for him because I think he's the kind of coach that he's going to be in your face. He's going to be high energy, and you can't keep that up and sit somewhere for 20 years and be that type of guy. Like, if you notice the guys that are stoic and like they can just walk the sidelines, keep their cool, those are the guys that stay places 10, 15, 20 years because they don't burn themselves out. And I think that's part of what Buzz does too. So Maryland's got 5 years on the clock.
Yeah. It's also the reason why John Shire is going to be a Duke until he's in his 60s.
Yep. He's got the perfect demeanor for it.
Yo, Ryder, man, what were your thoughts on the first coaching fire of the NBA season? As we saw that, after 13 games in, the Pelicans got rid of coach Willie Green.
I mean, this is what the Pelicans do. It's amazing how I think they put L's on coaches' resumes and then fire them. I mean, this team, I don't know what the direction is. I don't know what the plan is. I see Zion, but I don't think Zion's part of the plan. So it's like, what is it? What are we? And I think that's the one thing that this team hasn't, or this organization hasn't done, is they haven't successfully looked in the mirror and figured out who and what they're trying to be. I love when teams like the Wiz, you know what they're trying to be. You know what the Celtics are trying to be. You know what these teams, because they have a defined role. But the Pelicans just seem to be hanging out and just chilling, man. And that's the part that's killing me. I don't know what they are. You tell me. Help me out. You're on mute. Oh, okay. But no, I mean, it's just one of those things where I think the Pels like to hire and fire coaches. They may have the most coaches or ex-coaches that they're still paying on their staff, I mean, on their payroll, because they get rid of guys so quickly. It doesn't even make sense at this point. And without you giving a coach time to develop and set a culture, and the problem is you don't have a culture because of Zion really not flourishing into the player that you wanted him to be and that he was supposed to be. So at that point, it's just a thing of what are we doing and what do we want to be? And I can't say that enough over and over again. It's almost close to when we say it's early, but I just don't get it right now with this team. Um, so it's one of those things where we just gotta figure it out, man. We gotta figure out what they want to be, how they want to be, and moving forward.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, look, and I was a Willie Green fan. Okay, I was a little disappointed that he didn't get more of an opportunity, especially with what they've been going through. He's always had to deal with health, the health of Zion Williamson, and and just having pieces developed and then having pieces shipped away, pieces like Dyson Daniels. Okay, so who's right now doing well, and doing well in in Atlanta, and getting a piece back like Deontay Murray, and that hasn't been able to fully stay healthy. Right now, James Borrega is the interim head coach. He was the former head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. That, in my opinion, the Charlotte Hornets cut way too soon, and he's a guy that is going to be a head coach on a permanent basis somewhere in the league, and somewhere in the league very soon. But also feel the same thing about Willie Green, man. Willie, this isn't going to be the last time we see Willie Green as a head coach. I mean, shoot, this ain't the NFL.
Right.
Okay, this is this ain't the NFL. That gives you that feeling like you got one shot, like Rabbit in 8 Mile and stuff.
No, and the other part about that you said is it's amazing that you said that line, because there's going to be, unfortunately for Willie, he's going to fall into that that realm. What's my man? Phoenix old coach.
Ooh, Coach Bud.
Nah, what's the one back in the day that used to?
Monty Williams.
Nah, it's not Monty. God, I can't think of his name right now. When I get it, my 50-year-old brain will work, and I'll let you know who I'm talking about. It's an older black coach with curly hair. He's had a couple of stops, but he most time he's the coach that goes to the team when they're trying to find their identity, and then he gets fired like 2 or 3 years in.
Right before they find their identity.
Right.
Yeah.
And he just gets a bunch of losses on his resume, and it's a day. So that's all. but we'll get. Trust me, I'll yell it out when I remember it.
All right, can we get to this real quick before we bounce?
Well, we got a little bit of an extra window, so let's go extra 5 or so on this.
Okay. All right. Yo, there was actually a big update on the collective bargaining agreement negotiation with the WNBA. Now, of course, on October 31st was supposed to be the deadline to have a new CBA in place. Negotiations were extended out an additional 30 days. Well, the one deal that's been revealed, that's been offered, okay, is a deal where the minimum salaries will go up to $220,000. The max deals will go up to 1.1 million, and the average, which will make the average salaries will be about 460,000.
Okay. I mean, that doesn't sound bad because you still gotta still gotta crawl. And like the one fear I've had this whole time in this negotiation is them wanting to get the money too soon and the league not be ready to support it, and then they end up having to have a lockout and then come back and fix on the back end, and that's the worst way to do it. Like I think if the ladies, if they have some kind of escalator clause or something like that, to where the salaries after 2 years we may get another bump, within the collective bargaining agreement, I think that's going to help these ladies out more than anything else.
No, I agree. And you have the new leagues that are putting a little bit of pressure on the WNBA to get better deals. I mean, last year we had Unrivaled, which were offering really good contracts for play from January to April. And now there's another new league called Project B that's also going to be launching as well. And this is another winter league. And right now, Jonquel Jones, players like Jonquel Jones, Jewel Lloyd, Alyssa Thomas are have signed with that league, and they're that league, there's another league that's offering bigger contracts than what was getting paid out in the W. So this is what they're offering is a good step, and I'm glad that there's the pressure is there for these deals to get better, because this is a league that whether the trolls want to troll as their troll asses normally do, this league is a good league, and it's a league that's going to continue to grow.
So let me ask you this question: do you foresee there being a situation where a player plays the winter leagues and doesn't play the WNBA because it's not worth it financially for?
I'll say this: if the old CBA was in place, I could see that in a couple of years. But it's hard for me to see that because, one, there's going to be a new CBA in place. Mm-hmm. And two, the WNBA platform itself is still going to be bigger.
Okay. And then the only other question I would ask you is, do you think they're stretching their popularity by having 2 winter leagues? Like, is that going to be an issue?
I don't think so.
Can they support 2 winter leagues is basically what I'm asking.
In the end, no. In the end, it's going to be one. Okay, because that's what always happens. It's always going to be one during the same period. But right now, it's good to have those 2 just for the pressure.
Okay. Let's just close it out. What you got left? You got anything else that's on your mind?
No, I'm getting ready to look forward to this. To the second part of the, of the ESPN doubleheader, which my New York Knicks will be playing at Dallas. I'm still waiting to hear news if Jalen Brunson will be playing tonight. He's been out for the past 2 games with an ankle injury, and right now he's day to day. So, we'll see. Right now I'm enjoying this early part of the season.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, for scheduling notes and purposes, tomorrow is Thursday. It's the Thursday night throwdown at 7:15 p.m. We lead you right into the Thursday night football games. I think we're gonna have an episode of the Gridiron this week. Just some things been going on, so scheduling hasn't worked out for that. But you do know Saturday night you got the flagship, the WrestleManiacs, 9 p.m. And then we come back with the Sunday Rise at 11 a.m. to start your week off right. With that being said, this show is called Nothing But Net. He's C. Perry, I'm the Midnight Rider, and we just try to take you through this current NBA world with an old school reaction and flair to it. So thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time. See you next Wednesday, bro.
Yeah, man. NBA action. It's
Fantastic.